Think about the last time you ordered food online. A few taps on your phone, dozens of options, quick delivery, and your meal arrives at your doorstep. For customers, food delivery apps have become a regular part of everyday life. But for restaurants, the experience behind the screen is far more complicated. On 25th November 2025, a Delhi based restaurant owner accused Zomato of unfair rider allocation on social media, saying it was hurting his business. The company's CEO responded publicly saying, "Thank you for sharing this, I'm getting this checked." This single exchange reflected a much larger issue that many restaurants across India are facing today. Food delivery apps have completely changed how India eats. From busy office workers to families at home, people now rely on these platforms for convenience, variety, and discounts. For many restaurants, joining these platforms initially felt like a step forward: more visibility, more customers, and wider reach. However, over time, several challenges have started to surface. And these challenges don't just affect restaurants. If more eateries choose to leave delivery platforms, customers may eventually see higher food prices, fewer options, and fewer discounts. A report by the National Council of Applied Economic Research, sponsored by Process, highlighted the seriousness of the issue. According to the report, nearly 1 in 3 restaurants said they would consider exiting food delivery platforms altogether. High commissions were the main reason. This is happening even as India's food delivery sector continues to grow rapidly, generating 1.2 rupees trillion in gross output during the 2023 to 24 financial year. Despite this growth, 35.4% of restaurants surveyed they were willing to stop using delivery apps, pointing to high commissions, poor customer service, and low profitability. Around 30% of restaurants specifically asked for lower commission rates. The report also showed that average commissions per order rose from 9.6% in 2019 to 24.6% in 2023. For smaller restaurants, this increase has been particularly difficult to manage. Larger restaurants chains often have more negotiating power, while independent eateries are left with fewer options. Another concern raised by restaurants is limited access to customer data. Most platforms share only basic information, making it difficult for restaurants to build long term relationships with their customers. At the same time, platforms have also entered the restaurant business themselves. As early as 2019, companies like Swiggy launched in house brands, such as the Bowl Company, and promoted them directly on their apps. Restaurant owners argue that this creates an uneven playing ground, especially when they pay high fees to be listed on the same platform. There have been reports that Zomato and Swiggy are now in talks with the National Restaurant Association of India to explore sharing customer information with restaurants. Discounting has become another major concern. To attract customers, platforms often offer heavy discounts, sometimes even below cost price. While this helps increase orders in the short term, it reduces restaurant margins. Smaller restaurants are particularly affected, with some facing sustained losses and even shutting down. In some tier 3 cities, platform driven revenue has already seen a modest decline as customers slowly return to offline dining. Why restaurants still stay though? Despite these issues, many restaurants acknowledge the benefits of food delivery platforms. About 59% said that the platforms help them expand their geographical reach. Around 52.7% were able to offer more items on their menu, and 50.4% reported an increase in customers. At the same time, restaurants continue to question the long term cost of these benefits, especially when visibility and profitability remain uncertain. As India's food delivery ecosystem continues to evolve, the challenge ahead lies in creating a system that works for both platforms and restaurants. Balancing growth, efficiency, and fairness will play a key role in determining whether these platforms remain sustainable partners for the restaurants that depend on them and for the customers who rely on them every day.